Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely fascinating about how we process feeling completely, totally alone. We're going to look at how two entirely different songs use the exact same metaphor, the idea of being a ghost in the dark, to tell completely opposite stories about the human experience. It's just a fantastic study in how different artists can take the exact same emotional starting point and, well, weave it into radically different conclusions. Let's get right into it.
So let's look at this stark contrast. It's basically the perfect setup for our musical mirror. On one side, we've got the artist Blopix, who describes their mental state as feeling half dead as they sink further into the shadows. But then on the flip side, we have the K-pop Demon Hunters from Sony Animation. They take that exact same darkness and boldly declare they are shining like a queen. We've got one artist sinking and another totally conquering. How did they both get there?
Section 1. Ghosts of the Night. Shared metaphors in Blopix and Demon Hunters.
You see, both of these tracks actually start from the exact same emotional baseline. It's this feeling of being invisible, of living a fractured existence. The ghost motif is this incredibly powerful lyrical device. It expresses isolation, invisibility, or just being totally disconnected from who you really are. And what's so striking here is that both artists explicitly refer to themselves as these fading apparitions when they hit rock bottom. They aren't just feeling sad, they literally feel like they no longer exist in the physical world. It's heavy stuff.
Section 2. Lost in the Drift. The Blopix Descent.
Now, what's really interesting here is the profound loss of identity taking place. Just look at this quote from the Blopix track, "Ghost in the mirror I don't recognize. Too many truths mixed up with lies." The narrator is looking directly at themselves, but the person staring back, it's a total stranger. It's like those internal demons in their mind have completely blurred the line between what's real and what's false.
And notice the vivid environmental cues Blopix uses to build this heavy, almost suffocating, melancholic atmosphere. The lyrics paint this picture of neon lights falling like rain, a cold city with a pitch-black sky, absolutely no stars. You've got screeching tires, rolling smoke, keeping visibility super low. The narrator is out driving, right? They've got their engine running low, feeling the undertow. So they are physically moving at high speeds, but emotionally, they're completely paralyzed.
Which leads us to this incredibly heartbreaking conclusion for the Blopix track. King nothing, when I win no crown, just a shadow in the night chasing peace I'll never find. I really want to emphasize the tragic acceptance in these lyrics. The artist isn't fighting to get back into the light anymore. They've just embraced being a mere shadow, accepting that this midnight drift is an endless night with absolutely no clear resolution. And honestly, it's a deeply relatable expression of just kind of sitting in your sadness.
Section 3. Awakening the Demon Hunters. The Ascent to Golden.
Okay, but what happens when you decide to fight back? Just look at how this track opens. I was a ghost. I was alone. I didn't know how to believe I was the queen that I'm meant to be. Notice the tense here. I was a ghost. The track totally acknowledges that ghostly, isolated past we just saw in Blopix, but it immediately flips the script. It positions it as an obstacle to be conquered, not some permanent state. They lived two lives, they couldn't find their place, but they absolutely refused to stay there. So this track builds a completely different lyrical journey. It moves from quiet isolation, hiding as a ghost in two lives, to making this active, conscious choice to break the walls down and wake up. And finally, it climaxes in this intense, shining empowerment, where they're going up and becoming golden. The shadows aren't a trap here. They're basically a chrysalis.
And this marks a massive thematic shift. The lyrics boldly state, "Born to be hunters, voices stronger." I want to highlight the incredible pivot from the solitary suffering we saw in Blopix to this active, collective fight. I mean, Blopix was alone with the demons in his mind, but here, they are literally demon hunters. They aren't running from the shadows in their mind, they're hunting them down, and their voices are growing stronger together. It's a real game changer.
Section 4. Two Sides of Shadows, a lyrical juxtaposition. Taking a step back and looking at these tracks side by side, the contrast is just incredible. It perfectly shows how music provides us with radically different blueprints for handling our own inner struggles. When looking at their view of the night, Blopix sees an endless trap, right? But the Demon Hunters? They see a stage to shine. In their self-image, Blopix is an unrecognizable shadow, whereas the Demon Hunters recognize themselves as a golden queen. And the resolution? Blopix is left endlessly chasing peace, while the Demon Hunters are firmly going up. It's two totally contrasting emotional destinations derived from the exact same starting imagery.
So, the crucial takeaway here is this. The blueprint for navigating the dark is deeply personal.
You can either drift with the shadows, or you can hunt your demons. And the beautiful thing about these two tracks is that both expressions are incredibly valid. Look, sometimes you just need to put the windows down, feel the undertow, and drift through the melancholy like Blopex. Other times, you need to break the walls down and become golden like the demon hunters. Neither approach is better than the other. They're really just different tools for us as listeners to process those heavy feelings of isolation.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today. We've seen how a simple metaphor, being a ghost in the night, can lead to total surrender or total empowerment. So I want to leave you with this final thought as you go about your day. Think about it. When you face the dark, do you drift or do you hunt? Thanks for joining me to unpack these amazing tracks. Take care.